the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water. 2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
Hell yeah. High
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man.
Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches in the What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is AFR, episode 299. I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I'm the one you love to hate because I'm always right, Malin Dennis.
I'm the other co-host, Jim Bugsbane.
And coming out of Eastern Washington, smoky, smelly, down from British Columbia, I will block out the sun. I will choke you. I am the destroyer of dreams. I am G-Money.
How do I top that?
I don't think you do.
I just love how you use the line to block out the sun wearing that shirt. That is. That was.
That's gold.
Our special guest this week is, of course, Frank, back again. Frank, where
Glad
can
to be here as always.
find you at? Thank you for joining us. Share your channel with everyone at home.
Absolutely. The Fanatics podcast. As always, we've been trending up in the last, couple months. So definitely give us a shot if you love Arizona sports, and we talk other things too. But let's get to this show. Let's run it, guys.
Hey, we're going to have a good show tonight. Your boys are here. Nestor, as you can see, is not here, but he'll be back probably next week, so don't mind. With that being said, let's take a cheers to the first half. Have a great show ahead of us. Cheers, gentlemen. Hey, last show of the 200s.
Here's to 300 more.
Amen. All right. So we've got plenty to talk about this week. If you are watching live, we've got a bit of a new look, new facelift that we're testing out right now, new design, some new graphics going on. So please excuse any lagginess. I do not have a supercomputer, but hey, if you guys watch more often, maybe that could happen and things will smooth over even more. But also just excuse any kind of kinks as I'm getting used to controlling everything. But with that being said, we've got plenty of news to get into. Bijan Robinson just got paid. We've got Tony Romo, possible DUI footage. We've got Cleveland getting a WNBA team. Then we're going to break down the entire NFC West, our first division in the NFC that we're breaking down. Second half of the show, we've got comments to read and things that made us angry in the week of sports. And of course, in between there, wise words from G Money. So stay tuned for all of that. But with that being said, we're going to start off with the news for the week. And we're going to jump right in with the Bijan Robinson contract extension that he got from the Falcons, which he got 3 years, $75 million. About 50 of it is guaranteed. Bijan getting paid, man. And it kind of seems like that shoe has fallen, and now it's okay. Is Jahmyr Gibbs now getting his money? But what did you guys think about Bijan getting this deal, and what do you think it means for the rest of the landscape here?
Fourth year, you have that fifth year option with the team, and they were like, "Man, we'll just play it out because I can draft another running back." And so I'll spend my money on my wide receivers, my quarterback, maybe, part of my O line on my D line. Now it's kind of done a 180, and they're paying running backs again. It's Saquon Barkley helped that out with his free agency a couple of years ago, and it's like, yeah, they're valuable. We do need to pay them. Jamal Gibbs will get his. When would be the question?
Yeah.
But when you look at the Falcons, they need that because they really don't have a quarterback. Both their quarterbacks are injury prone and injured. So you need to have someone that you can rely on to carry the ball. And it's not going to be your quarterback, so it's going to be your running back.
Yeah, I agree with G Money sentiment. He's a good running back. I'm not biased because he went to Texas or anything, but he is a great running back. When he came out of school, and I knew he was going to be great. Atlanta needs this. G Money is 100% right. They need that dominant running back to take the pressure off their non-existing quarterback right now. They don't have quarterback in the system right now. And so they're going to have somebody stable in that backfield for a while. So this is a smart move by the Atlanta Falcons in getting this guy and locking him up for a few years until they can lock down a quarterback that's going to be there and be stable in this system for a while. Let the offense run through him. I think Stefanski will. I think he knows how to work with running backs. So you're going to see a heavy dose of Bijan Robinson this year and for the years to come. So I think it's a good move by Atlanta.
And June, the disrespect to Cooper Rush, man. And the Falcons ain't got no QB in the room. I didn't think we were going to get that from the lone Cowboys fan here, but coming in hot. I'll tell you one thing it means. He could pay somebody to cut his hair correctly. Look like a goddamn genie in a bottle out there. Have you guys seen his hair? His hair?
Has he done something new? Because I haven't seen anything.
He's got
different.
a dick on his head. It's just one giant ass coming from the back. One giant dread. He's angling a dick over his head. Look at a picture. It's insane.
Lord.
I don't know who told him that was a good look. I heard that Texas Longhorn players like dick, so maybe that's why he wants one in the mirror when he looks at it. But no, the contract is good for him. I think it's good for the Falcons. I always think it's good for an organization when you pay your best players. Because you're showing the other people on the team that, hey, you know what? If you're one of the top people on the team, like, we're going to pay you. You didn't have to do any holdouts or request the trade or go somewhere else, like Saquon did, or Derrick Henry did. Like he got paid, so good for him.
And the thing is, like, as you guys alluded to, they locked up easily their best player, running back that they haven't, the talent that they haven't had since, Todd Gurley, Devontae Freeman. So you definitely lock him up. And then with Stefanski, you can at least, take what the defense gives you, run Bijan. And then if the pass opens up, great. But you also, you got to know your limitations with Tua and Penix. But I think it's a great move. And the running backs are coming back. We've seen with the Cardinals, they gave Jeremiah Love a bag after being drafted 3rd overall. And he's not even, they're taking it easy with him right now.
And they have a talented team. They do. So, and hell, even if, something happens to Bijan, don't they got gun holes, Brian Robinson Jr.? Don't they? Isn't he on that roster now? Here for Washington.
I think so. Yeah.
But Drake London, man, he's in my opinion, he's an underrated wide receiver in the league. Mainly because of inconsistent quarterback play or not healthy or whatever. And I don't understand the Kyle Pitts because damn it, he looks so talented for like 3 plays a game. I don't understand. It's kind of like the offensive coordinator forgets that he's on the team, like Seattle used to forget when they had Jimmy Graham. They're just like, who is that? Who's 88 out there? Who's number who's number 8 out there? I have no idea. So I mean, they have talent. They have talent, and they're underachieving, and so they need to do better because I need them to mollywop Bucks. I need it to happen. So we're rooting for you, Falcons. Dirty birds.
Yes. Moving on to the next bit of news here, which is this one is a bit of a doozy and has one of those things where it's like it really doesn't have anything to do with sports at all, but it is still rather goofy. Tony Romo was pulled over the other day while, as he said, leaving a golf tournament. And yeah, there's plenty of body cam footage of him doing the sobriety test, field sobriety test, and I don't know what the actual verdict is, what came of that, but almost like a day afterwards, CBS quickly let him go and replaced him with J.J. Watt taking his place, broadcasting alongside Jim Nantz. It seems like they were waiting for something like this to happen or just waiting for an excuse, but what did you guys think about this whole thing?
It's bullshit. Tony Romo has been great with like no loyalty whatsoever. Is that in their clause? Like, my
Probably.
God, man. You know, you look at all this and you're
You can't
saying
be
to
openly
yourself,
drunk in public,
if
maybe.
this, well, yeah, but why you put out the body cam footage? Like, what is the police doing? It's just wrong for that. Do they put out the body cam footage for every single person in the world? No, they don't. It's horseshit. And you know what? Bring Romo home. Bring him home. We'll take care of him. He can be our quarterback's coach because we don't, we'll, put him at the quarterback's coach. Let him be in the Cowboys organization. Put him as a GM. I don't care. He just needs to come home.
I mean, listen, who hasn't looked like Tony Romo at the end of a golf outing one day? Like,
Exactly.
if you're not looking like that after shooting 18 holes and getting pissed off and quitting and taking backup golf 18 times, then you're just doing it wrong. I think it's a little bit unfair because, Tiger Woods gets to drive off cliffs and he got to keep his endorsements, keep playing golf whenever his back tells him he can for 3 holes. But yeah, I mean, it's just, you can't, I get what you're saying, June, but I also think that there's been some tension between CBS and Romo for a while. I think when he first came in and he was able to like say what the play was going to be before it happened, people were like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Well, he was like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Like it's just all 22 here. Like he knows the ball." But I think it went to his head a little bit, and I don't think he's been as sharp or as great the last couple years.
Right.
But I still think he's a good analyst. You gotta keep the Cowboys relevant somehow. So put him in a CBS jacket, I guess. But none of that's happening anymore.
It's time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was finally getting used to him and enjoying him in the broadcast booth, but maybe this kind of checks him a little bit. He gets his, head right. He lands in a better situation. Because I'd love to hear him play football games, but I mean, at the end of the day, unfortunately, it's one of those things. If you get, caught on the accountability train, you have to deal with it sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no different than if any one of us had been busted for something like that. I mean, my work would have fired me. They would have no problems with that. Like, oh, yeah, no, we can't have that. We can't have you representing the company. No. Sorry, sir. We don't care how good you've been. That just blew it right there. So, yeah. Though I did read where Hulu had reached out to him and Mark Sanchez, and they were going to do a series called Drunk and Drunker. So, there is that.
At least he's not stabbing people.
Well,
Or butt fumbling.
didn't have a
Or butt
knife.
fumbling.
Yeah. Get that. Set the bar low. I will say this though, I'm not 100% sure how in love with the idea I am of like JJ Watt replacing him.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and maybe it's just stereotypical, but like I look at JJ Watt and I'm like, me no football. That was first down. Like I just like I feel like he's one of those players with how we played in Texas and Arizona. Be like, you got like there's CTE in the background somewhere, and he's going to be a color analyst on football games. So I don't know. I don't know. Great player, but I don't know how he's going to be talking about the game all the time.
Exactly. You got a Neanderthal. Now you have a Neanderthal calling the games. Could you imagine him and Gronk? Could you imagine JJ Watt and Gronk calling the game?
They have
together?
a similar vibe, yeah.
Same thing. It's the same thing.
They'd be taking shots, getting as drunk as Romo was after the golf tournament.
Exactly.
Like on air.
Like the dude from Longest Yard. Mean Machine.
Could be playing like I saw this new game. It's like it's a card game for watching live football and taking drinks and shots with what you have in your hand if something happens in the game. They'd be doing that live. Like,
Bro,
well, this
Cardinals
interception
do it all
guy's
year.
got for a shot now. The
Ridiculous. All right.
Who they should have reached out to if they wanted a defensive player was Ray Lewis. I watched him a couple of times on ESPN when the Mannings were doing their show, and they'd have him come on. He was calling out defenses like, this is what it's going to, this is the defense they're running. This is what's going to happen. Exactly what's going to go on, and boom, there you go.
That would be
awesome. I don't know that you should trade drunkenness for dead bodies.
Hey. Alleged. I mean, never convicted.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Never convicted.
Snitch. Dead bodies and a snitch. That's
I mean,
with.
His entourage did exactly what they were supposed to. Yeah. I think we did it, or he did it, but Ray, nah, man. Ray was still in the limo. Ray was like trying to tell us to get back in the limo, man.
If only Mike Vick had friends like Ray Lewis.
Nah.
Would have been great.
Well, let's keep it pushing here. Moving on to some WNBA news. Cleveland gets their new team name, the Cleveland Sirens, and they will be taking the court in 2028. Cleveland decided to change up the names. They originally had a team back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, whose name escapes me off the top of my head, but Rockers. Yep. Yeah.
The mistake by the lake, baby. There's a reason why they call it the mistake by the lake.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Cleveland getting a NBA team, or WNBA team rather. What'd you guys think about this?
I'll tell you one thing. If their sponsor is not Starbucks, somebody is messing up in a boardroom somewhere. Like you are set perfectly for that to be. So Starbucks, if you do it, I said it first. Give me a cut. I mean, I think it's great that the league is expanding. You still got a lot of talent coming out of women's basketball. And the crazy thing is I still think it's wild that there are more, in my opinion, more recognizable faces of U.S. women's basketball players than there are U.S. men's players in the NBA. because they just keep getting their ass whooped by international players. When I say get their ass whooped, I know Jalen Brunson just won a ring. I get it, but for the most part, when you're naming like the top 5 players in the NBA, you're not really getting into American-born players until like maybe 4. And so I think that like the name recognition is getting there. You're still having all kinds of. I mean, I don't know how they've been able to keep this thing up with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, but they've been able to do it. It's amazing. And you got Paige in there. I don't know if the WNBA has a plan to like just make Kelsey Plum play for every team now.
Poor Kelsey. Poor Kelsey.
Like, she's such a good player to be bounced around. Like the disrespect, she held the all-time points record in college basketball with the Washington Huskies before Caitlin Clark. She wins a couple titles with the Aces. They're like, go to LA, and then I'm right. You fact check me. She goes to LA, and then like, yeah, you know what, you comfy, you like it. All right, how about the desert? So go to Phoenix. So she's probably New York Liberty next and win a couple titles there. And she'll end up in Atlanta and help Angel Reese win one.
I mean, it's not a big jump going from Vegas to LA to Phoenix. It's Phoenix and Vegas, weather-wise, pretty fucking similar. Yeah, desert. You don't have any casinos, but you're freaking 40 minutes away from Vegas, flight-wise. And that's getting on the plane, taking off, and fucking landing. I mean, Kelsey knows the deal. I mean, she knows that, it's a business and you get traded. Okay, whatever. She probably didn't buy anything in LA anyway. She's probably like just renting, going, yeah, I'm not going to be here that long. And by the way, this team really fucking sucks.
I thought we were talking about Cleveland.
I got us off track.
But we were talking about Cleveland. Yeah, we
got us off track. So listen, this is my thoughts about Cleveland. My thoughts about Cleveland is they got to get the right coach. And the only coach I see out there right now that could really be the face, and that would be Dawn Staley. Cleveland needs to figure out how to get Dawn Staley to Cleveland right now, because if not, that team is going to fail.
Cleveland's going to be the franchise to pull Dawn Staley away from.
I'm just saying.
South Carolina, right?
I'm just saying, if they want to succeed as a franchise, they need to go get Dawn Staley before somebody else grabs her. That would be that's just my opinion about it. Dawn, I mean, she could be the face of that franchise. She played in the WNBA. She has numerous Olympic rings. She's got titles now in college. I could see her being a successful coach within the WNBA. And I can see a lot of girls gravitating and free agents wanting to go to her because they know her style of play.
But like you just said, we're talking about Cleveland.
Yeah.
You called it the mistake by the lake, and yet you're saying
and that's the
we're
team
gonna
she's
get
gonna go to.
we're gonna get a top 2, top 3 women's basketball coach to go to Cleveland.
Well, I'm just saying what I'm saying. That's the guy. That's the person that they need. That's the need. Not saying that they. Not saying that. Shut up, man.
I look at it this way: if LeBron came home and won a ring once, maybe Dawn Staley will come to Cleveland.
There you go. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, in 2 years, there's going to be a LeBron James starting number 23. Cleveland Sirens.
Please, God, no.
Put up 120 points a game at 44 years old. They'd be like, who is this?
I mean, either way, it's good for the growth of the league at least. So, welcome Cleveland, and hopefully the league can keep its expansion and bringing in, more notable players.
Hey, you know who Cleveland should? You know who the Sirens should bring in? Bronny James. That's who they should bring in. Bring in Bronny James.
I want to expand on what Frank said, because didn't the Aces just bring out that the Japanese girl who got all the videos of her dribbling and laying up the ball and going to the hole and stuff? They just introduced her the other night, the one with the long ponytail. Is that the same girl, right? From Japan? Because after Kelsey Plum left, she was the one she made her debut the other night. So I think Frank is hitting on something. It's continue to expand and introduce new players. I think that's exactly, and I think they need. And Malin, you said that they do a good job of in-house in America. No, they need to go. That they need to go international because there's a lot of talent overseas that they can pull into the WNBA.
Yeah, crazy thing, June, is you talking about, man, there was this Japanese girl dribbling and laying up. All that. It sounds like you were just watching tape from someone playing at the Y, man.
No, I'm saying she got a lot of
She was
videos.
dribbling.
We dribbling and we doing layups.
No,
Pay me.
I'm just saying.
There is
I'm not dealing with
clearly there's clearly a pipeline from the Asian countries to the dub because, like June is now mentioning, this Japanese girl, like Honshu on the Liberty, the Wings have Yuru. There's clearly like it seems like the most dominant country as far as the next one up would be like China,
Right.
Japan, which is great. It's just clearly it's not the same as in the NBA, the pipeline from Europe, which is just like flooding right now.
Right.
And the biggest thing that the WNBA is going to do is keeping, in my opinion, like keep building up the names in women's college basketball.
Yeah.
And then getting them into the WNBA and then spotlight them against each other in the WNBA.
See, what we need is more teams that aren't just because the issue with women's college basketball, it's just like you have the same 2 or 3 teams stockpiling all the elite talent. We need that expanded to where it's not just like UConn, South Carolina, etc., playing for the Natty every year. So hopefully, once you get some more high profile players consistently at other schools, that's when you'll see the more of that growth and expansion throughout the league. But I just think there's top to bottom, a huge difference between the top 5 and the in women's NCAA. There's a huge difference just in the top 5 and the rest of the top 25.
Well said. All right. We'll see what happens with Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly. Those are their 2 cities that are going to be behind Cleveland in the coming years to get teams of their own too. So we'll see what ends up happening with those cities as well.
Her name is Mai Yamamoto. That's who it is. Mai Yamamoto. Yeah, she's actually she has a lot of videos.
She plays for LA.
No,
hey man, I'm gonna check it out.
No,
You
for the
said
Vegas.
she can dribble and she
for
can do
Vegas.
layups.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it out.
Check out her dribble package.
She's actually she has a bunch of videos out there. I was like, wow.
She's nice. That's what June's saying. If she's not, you know who to report back to.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of concerns me that you're watching what initially to me sounded like you're watching anime, but
well, at least she didn't say hentai.
Okay. Shout out to Bridget in the chat. She says that Malin's idea of the Starbucks needs to be an instant partner sponsor of the Sirens. Yeah, that needs to happen.
That's what I'm talking about. Always got Bridget in my corner.
There you go.
I say 2 smart things a show, and I wasted it on sponsorship.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
On
Yeah.
someone else's
Yeah.
sponsor. All right. Let's move over to the next topic at hand here, which is our predictions for the NFC West. Now, on the screen here for the folks at home, I put this in Discord earlier, but these are the odds, according to Hard Rock, on who is favored to win this division this upcoming year, with LA being the odds-on favorite, and the Cardinals, who last I checked have the longest odds of any team in the NFL at plus 10,000. Frank, just go put $1 down on this. Just $1 would be a good investment at the very least. But we have a poll in the chat right now asking the people at home who they think is going to win. As of right now, LA is, of course, winning it with Seattle and San Francisco tied for second place. So that is where the audience is standing right now. But probably.
But people hit.
Seahawks. Do they not remember that we beat the Rams and the Niners last year in the playoffs?
They remember.
That was last year.
Yeah.
That was last year. You know,
Yeah.
what you did last year doesn't really affect what you do this year.
Correct.
Mike McDonald would tell you we're starting at 0. What you did last year means absolutely nothing.
Mike McDonald.
We're not running it back. We're not running it back.
What'd you say, Jim?
I said thank you, G Money, for being the face of Seattle right now and the wise voice of Seattle.
Okay, first of all, unwise. I think sometimes winning a championship one year can help you win a championship the next year because you're building a culture. Go ahead and ask Jalen and his multiple Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady, or Chiefs fans. Like, you know, it can be. And outside of us not giving the ball to Marshawn, maybe Seattle runs it back on time. Yeah. So I do think you can help build culture, is what I'm saying, and we'll get into it.
Yes.
But get into the shit.
Okay.
Shoot.
So the way we do this, in case you're new to this segment, we just go through each team's schedule. Each one of us predict what we think they will finish at the end of the regular season, record-wise. And then, of course, if you want to point out any games that you want to speak on specifically, go right ahead and do that. But we start with the team that won the division first, and then we finish with the team that came in last place at the end of the year last year. So we will start with Seattle, and we'll start off with Frank, you being the guest here. You can go first. How many games are the Seahawks winning and losing this year?
Oh, I mean, I think my biggest thing is I think, especially with JSN, they're going to get right back to business, and Sam Darnold and him are going to have a good rapport. I think Seattle has a 12-5 season. I think one of the bigger highlights for them is, you know, I gave them a win at Arrowhead, which is going to be a super strong game for them. Tough environment, and that's going to get them ready for the playoffs again, especially if they have, you know, especially if they get back to the Super Bowl. But, and outside of that, you know, I think they're just going to continue doing what they did last year because they have a great team defensively and offensively.
I'm sorry, you said 11 or 12?
12.
12, okay.
But like I said, the biggest thing is going to hinge on if Sam Darnold can run it back and do what he did last year.
I feel that. All right, 12 wins from Frank. G Money.
I've got them actually going 13-4, and it's going to come down to a tiebreaker as far as points scored as to whether they or the Rams win the division. The way I look at it, you know, last year we had a new OC. We lost our starting quarterback, 2 starting wide receivers, and it didn't look real pretty, right? Nobody, you know, it's like, oh crap, we're not winning the Super Bowl. We lost our OC, lost one of our running backs. Our other running back is out until realistically probably October. But everything I'm hearing coming out of camp is that our running backs look pretty damn good. Offensively, Shaheed's going to actually not be coming in the middle of the season. He's going to have a whole season here. They've already said that the program that's being run right now on offense is pretty similar to the one that was run last year. It's just the terminology is a little different, which makes sense because both of the OCs spent time in San Francisco. So it would make sense that the plays are similar. It's just the the terminology is a little different. Defensively, that's where we shine. Even with the loss of Kobe and Reek. And Reek was one of those players that would make some really great plays. And then at some point during the game, would do something so fucking stupid, you were like, what in God's name? You forget to cover someone, you get a penalty, and you're like, the hell? So, yeah, I look at it as being, of course, that does basically sit on, does the O-line perform as good, if not better than it did last year? Because that was the big surprise, was the O-line playing as well as it did. So the O-line has to play just as well, if not better. Bradford's in a contract year, so he's probably going to play really well because that boy wants to get paid. We probably will not pay him, but he definitely wants to get paid. So he's going to have to play really well and not have 2 or 3 plays a game where it just appears like he forgot what the fucking blocking scheme was. But 13-4.
13-4 from G Money and also from your boy, because I also got him winning 13 games this year. The defense is really what this team hung its hat on last year for the most part. And for the most part, it is still intact. Like G Money said, yes, I'm sure that at points in the season they will miss Reek, they'll miss Kobe. But once they kind of get adjusted to afterwards, what it's like now, which might take them a little while, I think they will be just fine, which is why I've got them losing actually week 2 in Arizona. And I think that'll just be like a wake up game for them. And then after that, going on a pretty heavy winning streak for the next several weeks. But yeah, I think like Malin mentioned earlier that, championship culture is more that roster is obviously important, but Coach McDonald seems to have installed a whole new kind of mindset there. And like, he's the loudest voice in the room. And I think as long as he is there and they're able to keep a lot of that core intact, this is going to be a team that is a contender probably every year. So even though I don't have them winning this division, I still think that they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, 13 wins, obviously you're going to go to the playoffs. And as long as they can get in the dance, who knows what can happen at that point. So they'll be in the mix without a doubt. So yeah, I got to win 13 games just like G Money. June.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I got them at 12-5. Just one game, and the only reason why I got them at 12-5 and not 13-4, because I just think that I want to see what they do. And this is plus or minus 1 or 2 games without Brian and Walker and Reek and Moffitt. Just those guys that they're going to be missing this year. Those are the key losses that they had, and they got a new OC coming in. I know they're not really changing much. I looked at I watched one of their streams today on their with some of their insiders, and they said, hey, not much has changed on the offense, but they do got a couple of new people coming in, and they are going to have new terminology. So I just want to see what they're going to do with this new team. So that's why I got them at 12-5, because you're always going to have that new hiccup. Teams who lose their coordinators, they're going to have 1 or 2 games where you just lose because the team is, the new coordinator is just not going to know what to do in certain situations because they wasn't there with the team the last couple of years. So I just have them at 12-5. I think they're going to be a really good team. I think they're still going to be one of the classes of the NFC. And I think even at 12-5, and I still think they're going to end up in the NFC Championship game with this team. Their defense is still that good.
Wow.
So I still got them at but I got them at 12-5.
Go ahead, Malin.
Yeah, I got them at 13-4. I have them 4-2 in the division. I think they'll split one with both the Rams and the Niners. Sorry, Frank, I have us beating you twice.
Good.
Now you guys did take us to the wire in Arizona last year. Like we
was a great
needed field goal
That was,
to
yeah.
get on that
That's
one.
where we fucking fell apart.
And
It
you guys
was,
and the Cardinals still got like I think the best rivalries. That end zone was sweet in that game.
Yeah.
But like okay, so we talk about the things we lost. We lost Kenneth Walker. It didn't even have a majority of the share of the touches in the regular season. He was only able to pop off like he did in the postseason because we held back his carries in the regular season and he was healthy. I think the Chiefs are going to find out that he's not going to be that 20, 25 touch guy that maybe they want him to be. Or maybe they don't want him to be. I don't know. You lose Kobe Bryant. We draft Bud Clark. Mike McDonald is very high on Bud Clark. Talks a lot about him like he did Eman Wari, who was a super freak athlete last year as a rookie. We don't have, Reek anymore. I think there's going to be times when we miss his athleticism. I think Job is a really good fill-in. He was great last year when Spoon was out, when an injury. But what we're not going to miss is his headaches. Because I don't know if you guys remember NFC Championship game against the Rams. We're like, we got them cooked. They're dead to rights. What does Reek do? Reek's like, hold my beer, bitch. I'm going to go ahead and jaw off with the sideline of the Rams. Get a 15-yard penalty. Then I'm going to give up a touchdown. Like, so for all the good that he could do, he could give you some like fuck you moments. Like, fuck you, Reek. Like, what are you doing? I love Jadarian Price. I was not originally a fan of us drafting him in the first round. But hearing what the team, the veterans in this locker room feel about him, I love it. And I love the mentality and the culture. And like, I love, last year they had shirts made. They made like their own motto. I've never been a fan of calling it like the dark side defense or anything like that. That sounds corny as shit, like a comic book to me. But Leonard Williams introduced mob ties last year, which was mission over bullshit. And it talked about brotherhood, violence, and a couple of things. I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks last night, and all the defense is wearing shirts that says manager of violence. That just... You can't wear that motto on your shirt if you don't have a certain swagger and confidence about yourself. Like, you better be able to back it up. And they do believe that they are great. And right now, the defense, apparently, from what we're seeing, the offense is whooping the defense's ass in training camp right now. And Mike McDonald's not happy about it. He's actually pretty pissed. But I got him going 13-4. I do have him winning the division. And a lot of it is that I do think Sam Darnold is going to be as good or better than what he was last year. And last year was a little bit of a step back coming from Minnesota, right? Like, you didn't have the same stats. They had some careless turnovers. But when you have a defense like we have and a roster and a culture like you can, they can make up for that. But at some point, we're going to have to stop with the can Sam do it again? Like how many, like he's one of only 2 quarterbacks to win 14 games in the regular season twice. The only other one to do it was great Tom Brady. And he did it with 2 different teams, 2 different offensive coordinators, 2 completely different rosters. So he can be a winning quarterback. At some point we need to change that narrative of like this is who he is. It's different when you're not playing for the Jets. It's different. So I take.
All right. Let's move right into LA. They've got quite an interesting schedule here, and as we just saw, they are the favorites to win the whole division. So, Frank, what do you think about LA? What do you have them doing?
I mean, I absolutely hate that I have this view in this record for LA, but especially given the talent that they already have, you bring in Myles Garrett, you already have an explosive offense. Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. My biggest thing with the Rams is you bring Aaron Darnold, and it's pretty much over. But the only kink in the Rams' armor would be, in my opinion, is if Matt Stafford went down. Because you don't have any proven arm behind him. You got what? Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a situation to watch. But if everybody does stay healthy and Matt Stafford balls out like he did last year, the Rams are going 14-3, and their only 3 losses are Philadelphia, Buffalo, and Seattle.
Damn. G Money.
I have them going 13-4. I think adding Myles Garrett was a minor upgrade. If they had kept Javon and added Myles, that would have been a fucking major upgrade to that defense. But it's a minor upgrade. But the fact that they added 2 all-pro corners, because they obviously saw where they were having issues and they needed to change those. I like their defense. And Frank's right. If something happens to Matthew Stafford, I think they're screwed. And I've said this with Malin a few times as far as coaching goes. McVay's a good coach, but he's not Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. If Stafford goes down, I think the Rams go down. So they better protect Stafford as best they can, because they could have the greatest defense in NFL history, and that's not going to help them if they can't win games. So I'm going on the fact that they go 13-4, and like I said, it comes down to total points, because Seahawks and Rams will split home and away. They'll end up having the same record in the NFC against same opponents, and it'll come down to points. And I don't know. The Rams have the ability to put up more points, I think, than Seattle, but we'll see.
All right. 13-4 from G Money. I'm with Frank. I've got him at 14 wins. I had to keep, when I was looking at their overall roster earlier, and I was like, oh, that's right. They got him. Oh, that's all right. They got him too. Oh, God damn it. I keep forgetting that the Avengers assembled on this goddamn roster. It was hard for me to find losses on this team, man.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I've got to give them something. They're not going to go undefeated. That's not happening. So where are these losses going to come in? So my 3 losses, I'm thinking, and this is how bad I had to reach. I think Stafford's going to get nicked at some point. I don't think it'll be a season-ending injury, but I think it'll be something that keeps him out for around a month. Because just last year he played so well, won the whole MVP. It's almost like, he's due regression at this point. So I'm not thinking that, he's going to be gone for the long haul. But at some point he'll probably get nicked. And I'm going middle of the season-ish. So I'm thinking that backup is in week 10 against Arizona. I think Arizona wins that one. They've got a bye week. Then I think they lose to Green Bay. And then by that point, he should probably be back. But again, that's just me making up a scenario here. But wherever the 3 losses come in, I think that they will probably lose somewhere around there. The third being Seattle in week 16 in Seattle. So this is a super team here. This is this is what Philly has right now with the Sixers. So, damn, I don't know. I think they're gonna put up a lot of fireworks this year, and it's just a matter of health prohibiting them from getting to a Super Bowl. So we'll see. Go ahead, June.
Yeah, I got the Rams at 13-4. To start the year, and I'm with you, Jalen. It was hard for me to find losses on this damn team to start the season. I'm sitting there, and next thing you know, I got these fools at like a 10-0 before I found a loss somewhere. Because I think they just that strong with the roster that they have. And it's strictly by the roster and the way it falls into place uh, of with this team. But I got them at 13-4. I think later in the season they're going to face some difficult games. They got Dallas coming in. They got to go to the Seahawks. They got to go to Tampa, and then they end again with the Seahawks. So that last month, those last 4 weeks are going to be tough for the Rams, even with a super team. It's the end of the season, and say, teams are still fighting for the playoffs, and you got 4 teams at the end of that season, especially with the Seahawks twice. You got 4 teams at the end of that season that's possibly trying to win their division. Three teams. You know, with the 49ers coming in December and the Chiefs. So that last 6 weeks of the season is going to be a little bit tougher for the Rams because they're going to be facing teams that's possibly going to be either trying to make the playoffs or trying to win a division. So we have to keep that in mind for the Rams. So they're going to be facing teams that are going to be giving everything they got to them at the end of the season. But I still got them going 13-4.
All right, Malin.
I got them at 12-5. I got them at 12-5.
Okay.
I think they're going to be a very good football team. I think we need to be a little bit like when we look at the NFL and a team wins the Super Bowl, is it always the team that we look at week 1 thinking that's the best roster they should win? Like, how often does that happen? But I feel like we're doing that a lot with the Rams this year. And I'm not saying they are going to be this, but the cautionary tale of the 2011 Eagles pops up a lot in my mind, where they were a really good football team with Michael Vick and McCoy and Jackson. Then they added what was his name? Starts with an A. He was a shutdown corner. I can't even pronounce it. Yeah,
Asante Samuel.
It was
Asante Samuel.
It was.
It was no, it was a some.
I'm gonna smack him.
NNAMDI ASOMUG.
Oh, you talking about Cromartie? You talking about Cromartie?
Jesus Christ, it's not what it. But you know what I'm talking about. I can't pronounce the name, and I'm not going to try. I've already been drinking. But they signed him from the Raiders that year, and he was elite. He was considered right below Darrelle Revis type. And then they get Javon Curse and Jason Babin, and everyone was talking about how they're this dream team and the sky's the limit and they're going to win all these games. And I think they won 7-9 or something, or 8-8. Because it's not all about talent of football. You also got to have that chemistry. So they went out and they got Garrett. They went out and they got McDuffie. Well, they haven't played yet. And Garrett's already dealing with some sort of lower body soreness. Pain, don't know what that is. They're not next to an electrical substation, so I don't know why he's hurt. But I just, like you guys have said, it's to me, everything really hinges on one, Matt Stafford. He's got to stay healthy. It's not like those back concerns didn't happen last year. I still don't know how that happened. They were like in training camp last year, we were like, man, is Matt Stafford gonna be able to play? He goes out, wins MVP. I was like, what the fuck? Y'all need to be looking in. The NFL should be looking into some stuff. Are we hedging? And you know what? I also think about someone like Devontae Adams. At his age, at a certain point in Cooper Kupp's career, you start to slow down. And so was it a little bit of luck? This is the one year you're going to do it where, Devontae Adams scores 14 touchdowns. Is Cooper Nakua going to keep his head on straight? Is Kyron Williams going to stay healthy? Like I do think there are questions, just like there's questions with every other team that has a shot at winning the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
But I was able to find 5 losses with at least just starting with at least splitting Seattle and San Francisco gives you 2. And even last year, as great as they were last year, they slipped up at the end of the year, and they kind of have a tendency to do that with Sean McVay. They lost a couple games they shouldn't have last year. I think
The
one of them,
Eagles game. The Eagles
Oh,
game.
well, that Eagles game, yeah, they definitely should have won that one early in the year. But I don't know if you guys remember, it was after they lost to Seattle. Like I think they went to Carolina and
yes.
laid an
Yes.
egg
Yeah.
against Carolina, and you're like, oh shit,
Yes.
we didn't see that. Like that wasn't on my bingo card when I was
Mhm.
playing it out throughout the season. So I think that they can take their eye off the ball a little bit at times. So I got them at 12-5. I still feel like that's still respectable. 12-5. I saw June's face when I said 12. Everyone thinks they're going to go undefeated and can't find losses that they're going to have.
Well, 12-5 from Malin. We'll see. It's gonna be a very, very interesting year for them. But let's go ahead and switch gears to San Francisco, and we're gonna start off with Frank. What do you have the Niners doing?
Surprising to you guys, but I kind of, went along with the substation injury theory, and I have the 49ers finishing 10-7 just because I have a feeling that at some point, probably about between week 4 and week 6, CMC is probably going to break down again.
Mhm.
And who knows, if Mike Evans is going to be able to come back fully healthy. I do love that signing, by the way, especially with what happened to Ricky Purcell. But the only thing that San Francisco, I feel, has that gives them a constant chance to always win is what we mentioned earlier when discussing, Seattle and LA, like Kyle Shanahan. He is the guy that, as long as he's there, they can overcome any situation. But I think just with the injuries they've dealt with and just, I feel like they're just going to slip and be 10-7.
10-7. All right. G Money.
Well, this was before Kyle Shanahan went on the IR and the whole receiving core went on the IR. Yeah. I had him going 12-5 because, like I said, I think Kyle Shanahan is probably right now probably the best coach in the NFC West, if not the best coach in football. What he did last year with the fact that he was missing players, his starting quarterback went out, he put Matt Jones in, he got in, it's just what they can do with the players they have. So I just think that he can basically work miracles. Of course, now he's concussed, lost an eye, lost a leg. I mean, I think he's going to be. It's just crazy that you get into an accident. Wide receivers off of waivers or bringing someone who hasn't played in like 2 years. I mean, Tyler Lockett may still be available. I mean, and knock off 12 wins.
All right. I have got them winning 9 games this year. Listen, what they were able to do last year was very impressive. That was, to me, one of the best jobs I've seen Shanahan ever do, especially with Mac Jones being in the lineup for as long as he was. No offense to Mac Jones. But, yeah, I've got to win the 9 games this year. I don't see how you can escape or how you can skirt by the injury bug. or like play alongside it for this long. Like they are just a historically beat up team. And it's like one day that chicken's gonna come home to roost, and you know you can patch up whatever. And I don't know. I just feel like it's gotta hit a point at eventually, especially with the division being so good now. It's like, damn, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to pull this one off. But 9-8 is not a bad record. You're still around a 500 football team. But losses that I do have them taking, of course, I got them losing week 1. Got them losing to the Seahawks in Seattle, and then I've got them losing to Washington the following week. I do have them losing to Dallas. Like we said earlier, I've got them losing to the Chargers, so both LA teams. And I also have them losing the last week of the season against Arizona in Arizona. So
I do too.
9-8 from San Francisco, sub theory, Area 51, whatever the hell you want to call it is going on. Whatever. 9-8 for the Niners for me. Go ahead, June.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jen. I got a 9-8. And I look at their month of November and December, and that's just and Frank said it best. CMC at some point is going to break down. I don't trust him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to make it a full season ever again. I think the guy's going to be a 9-game a year player for the rest of his career. And that month of November and December, they got to play a tough schedule. You look at November, they got to go to Dallas. Then they got the Vikings. They got the Seahawks. Then they got to go across the country to New York, and they got to come back home and play the Rams the very next week. Then they got to go at the Chargers, at the Chiefs. They got to go back across the country to play Philly. And that's why I got them losing to the Cardinals, because that's just a lot to deal with that time of year. You're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I just don't see the 49ers at the end of the season with a healthy roster being able to come that 6 weeks, really, 6 to 7 weeks of just tough games. And again, we're talking about a lot of teams that's going to be trying to make the playoffs and teams that's, fighting for the division. So they got a very tough schedule ahead of them that last 6 weeks. And if they're not already at 9 weeks, when they enter that, they're not coming out of that unscathed. So that's why I got them at 9-8.
All right. Go ahead, Malin.
I can't dog on Shanahan, man. We kept trying to shut the door on that team, it seemed like, on a weekly basis last year, and they just kept winning games. Now, it's not good that your coach starts out on the injury report. Mike Evans already has a hamstring issue and is going to miss the rest of training camp.
Jesus.
First all shut down for the whole year. You signed McDouble Debo. It's not a good look. You got Kittle is going to be coming off of an injury that he had against Philly, right? You do have injuries, but Shanahan has showed us that he can kind of plug and play if he has a capable quarterback. And he does have capable quarterbacks. Even if Purdy goes down, Matt Jones did a stellar job when he was filling in last year. And I don't think a lot of us expected that. But we kind of forgot about Shanahan kind of being Shanahan. Now, the one thing I will say is that Mike McDonald has seemed to kind of crack that code a little bit on a Shanahan offense. Last year in 3 games, the Niners scored 26 total points, even though they did beat us one game. 26 points in 3 games against an offensive genius like that. Well, I do think that there's tape out there, but I got them going 12-5. I just think that they're going to win games that we are going to be on a weekly basis think that they won't be able to, because that head coach is going to have that team ready to play. And so, yeah, I got him winning. I got him winning 12. I got to give them all the respect in the world.
I love about this.
I do not.
About the Niners is that me and June are like, forget about them. And then G-Money and Malin are like, no, don't forget about him. And Frank is like right down the middle. He's like, you know what? I'm going to sit right here.
I mean, we did not go negative. Like,
right.
It's
We're
not like
not
we went 5
putting
and
them
12.
away. Yeah.
We're saying they're still going to win a lot of games, but I just think that at some point the injuries are just going to catch up with them. And it's not going to be like last year. It's, I just don't think they're going to have that same push that they had last year.
It wasn't even on offense. It was like the amount of defensive injuries they had last year. They won 12 games without Warner and Bosa. Like, that's insane. And their quarterback missed, like 6 or 7 games?
Mm-hmm.
And they still won 12 games.
Chunk, yeah.
Like, what team can lose their starting quarterback for damn near half the season and win 12 games?
So what does that tell you?
Looks like Shanahan.
So what does that tell you about it's a plug-and-play offense? You don't need a good quarterback to run that offense.
I tell you what it tells me about the Cowboys. You guys lose Dak Prescott, you win 3-4 games this season.
No shit.
Brock Purdy, they still win. I don't know. And that's the whole thing, June, is if it's a plug and play offense, then injuries aren't going. Like, who did they have at wide receiver last year?
Oh, what's his name?
Yes.
I can't even think of his name. Jawan. Yes.
Ayuk.
Jawan
Jennings. Ayuk.
I don't know.
But I'm not
gonna
gonna.
Last year,
You can only have luck for so long. Luck runs out. Then for me, the Niners were just lucky last year. They were not a great team,
but
they were lucky.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
That's a lot of luck.
What they did?
I mean,
their luck ran out in playoffs last year when they faced the Seahawks and got thrashed. I mean,
that's because Seahawks is a better team.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm putting down. That you can only carry that luck so far. And I don't think that teams are going to look at the Niners and say, "Oh, you got a bunch of injuries. We're gonna look past you because you got a bunch of injuries." No, they're going to play the Niners straight up like they are a team that's got their starters in. And I think a lot of teams last year played them like they were an injured team, and Shanahan just outcoached that fact. This year, I don't think they're going to have that luxury. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be very interesting. We're very emotional about San Francisco, a team that none of us give a shit about.
The fact that June has me defending Shanahan and the Niners.
It's the sub base.
Right. How'd I end up on that end?
What is wrong with you? That's your fault. That's your fault.
It's your fault.
All right. Let's move on to the final team here. Frank's very own Cardinals. Frank, what are your Cardinals doing this year?
I was gonna say I can't, I'm gonna be pessimistically optimistic about this season because offensively everybody knows we do have a lot of talent. We just have to figure out who on our defense is going to step up outside of Budda Baker and Josh Sweat, who thankfully we still have on our pass rush. But I think this is where, especially with Mike LaFleur, the Cardinals offense is going to take that leap. And I might be crazy for saying this, but Cardinals are going to finish 8-9.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
And here's the kicker. Game 1 in LA. The Cardinals shock the Chargers, knock Harbaugh and Herbert on their ass.
Where is Coach?
And then, little dry spell the rest of the way. And then what really helps out towards the end of the year, you get that win streak with the Giants, the Saints, the Raiders, and the last game of the season against the Niners. Nice little 4-game win streak to end the year. And here's the kicker that either flips them from 8-9 to 9-8. The Dallas game to me is a 50-50 because they always play the Cowboys good, but I feel like this might be the year that the Cowboys get that win because Kyler's not there.
Man, you coming out like Mr. Miyagi, man. You got a
Well, I
lot.
mean, Kyler didn't beat us last year. It was Jacoby, right? Jacoby, we didn't play against Kyler last year, right?
That's right. It was Jacoby.
It
Oh
was
shoot,
Jacoby.
yeah, last year was Jacoby.
Yeah,
He
it was
was
Jacoby
dealing.
last year. He was. I mean, hey, that was the game when we saw Marvin Harrison Jr. actually catch the damn ball. Remember?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like he had a big game against the Cowboys. You know.
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember us coming
impressed.
on.
I was
We came on live after that game, and
like,
one of us was really not happy.
we're really not happy.
You gave us for 5 wins there. What were the other 3 that you have locked in, Frank, besides the last 4 games in the first week, and then Dallas being 50-50?
To say the other 2 wins and this is gonna be a shocker, but I do have the Cardinals pulling probably the upset of the year in Seattle, and then winning at home against Washington.
Absolutely.
Well, I got I like the Washington one. I'm
Like how-
definitely gonna put money on that game. I'm putting money on that
I
game.
like how the
definitely.
Cowboys game is 50-50 to you. You're just gonna outright beat. I like that
Hey,
take.
he's saying because
that
it's a divisional game, buddy. That's all he's saying.
It's rivalry.
I like that take. But what happened last year when the Cardinals went to Seattle? And we have like 28 points with 12 minutes left in the second. I think it was.
Memory doesn't serve
I
me.
don't remember what happened in that game.
We hit Brissett twice and ran 2 fumbles back for a touchdown. Like I think it was like 2 out of 3 series.
We didn't get off.
He ain't lying though. That did happen. That did happen. He ain't lying. He ain't lying.
G Money, what do you have Arizona doing?
I have them drafting their future quarterback in the first round, like number 2. I
Got it.
I have them going 2-15.
Lord.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, I know. And it was hard for me to find the 2 games. I mean, I look at the team and I'm like, okay, it's hard. I mean, the Cardinals have been bad for so long.
100 years.
It's hard to look at them. Well, maybe not that long, but I mean, they've been bad for a while, and different coaches. Is it management? I don't know. Is it fucking being in the desert? I mean, it could be being in the desert because the Raiders are the same way. So it could well be that you're in the desert. You probably shouldn't be there. But I look at their schedule and I'm like, okay, who can you really beat? You beat the Giants, probably. You can probably beat the Saints, maybe the Jets. We don't know how they're going to do. You're playing the Raiders at home, but, they may be a lot better than everybody thinks. So, 2 wins. 2. That's it.
That listening to G Money start, where you're just speechless for a few seconds.
Oh my word!
I've got the Cardinals. Let me just double check. I've got them at 5-12, and I felt like that was decent, a decent pick. At least I did until Frank doubled that. Yeah, I've got to win 5 games. I do have them winning week 2 against the Seahawks, but that one is in Arizona. I've got them winning against the Giants. And were there other wins? I do have them beating the Rams, like I mentioned earlier, in a weird game. Also in Arizona, I've got them beating the Commanders, and I've got them winning the last game of the year against the Niners. I may have missed may have skipped a win in there somewhere. But anyway, got them at 5 wins. This is a let's see what we got year for Arizona as far as I'm concerned. But, I think the most important thing is, can they keep the good pieces they have? Can you keep progressing them forward and not start to just, people start to tune out and lose hope and like, all right, how can I get up out of here? Like if they can keep with the new coaching staff there now, can they keep a good culture there and have people looking forward? Like, okay, as long as we can just add a few more pieces, we can be in this thing within the next year or maybe even 2. But you just don't want dudes tuning out. Like if G Money is right, these dudes go, 2-15, like everyone's going to want to check out of here, which is why I don't think that will happen. I think they'll win enough and have enough bright spots to want to continue progressing in Arizona. So, yeah, I've got them winning 5 games. June.
So I'm looking at a team that's rebuilding. Point blank period. They got rid of Kyler Murray, so that tells you we're rebuilding, which I think is a good thing. I think it was either you keep Kyler Murray or you let him go. And I think it was time to let him go. And I think they're going to go 6-11. And I'm going to tell you now, everybody knows my feelings about Jeremiah Love. That man was the best player in the draft, 100%. And the Cardinals are lucky they didn't have the number 1 pick because they would have picked a quarterback. They got the number 1 player in the draft. That's point blank period. I don't care what anybody says. They got Jeremiah Love. You need to start off with that. Kind of reminds me, Atlanta got Bijan Robinson, and then you turn around and you look at what Arizona is going to do. If they can get their number 1 receiver and Mari Harrison Jr. on the same page, they can have a prolific offense if they get that quarterback. They're going to need that quarterback in the future for this team to be successful. But I still think this team can win 6 games. And one of the most notable games I think they can win, I think they're going to beat the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions are going to come into the desert and they're going to lose. I really, truly believe that's a loss for the Detroit Lions. I'm going 50-50 on the Broncos game. I think the Broncos might come in and try to overlook this team and lose. But the last 6 games, I think they can beat the Commanders. I think they can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think the Eagles are that good of a team. I think the Eagles lost a lot of players, and I think they're going to go on the road. And don't forget, isn't this coach got some ties to Philadelphia? Oh, that's the last. That was the last coach.
That was the last coach, wasn't it?
That was the last coach.
It was the last coach. Yeah.
And then you have the Cardinals. You have the Jets, which they're a joke. Everybody knows they're a fucking joke. The Saints are not going to be good. And then you got the Raiders, and I think they're going to beat the 49ers the last week of the season. This team can win 6 games. And you know what? They can show off their new rookie running the football. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be the offensive rookie of the year because, again, I think he was the best player in the draft. 6-11 for the Cardinals. And they have a bright future.
I fully believe that June thinks that Jeremiah Love should be president. He should be prime minister. He should be NBA MVP. Yeah. He should. He's all right. Hasn't played a snap in the NFL, but he should be all those things. Go ahead, Malin.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. You brought up the Falcons drafted Bijan Robinson. How's that worked out for them? Have they won a division? If they wanted anything of significance with drafting a running back and that high in the first round? What about the Raiders getting Ashton Genty? How'd that work out for him when he got a shit team around him, right?
Ashton Genty is 5'3", 105 pounds.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Love is 6'2", 200 pounds. What do you think?
What does he eat for breakfast?
Yeah.
June?
But I'm just saying, like, when you're drafting a running back that high, yet you don't have a roster around them, like that offensive line for Arizona is not good. It's bad, guys. They gave up 59 sacks last year. Like Brissett alone was sacked 43 times, and he didn't even start every game. Like that's a lot of beating. The offensive line's not good, so I don't think you're going to be able to run the football very well. I think it's a little criminal that we're a sports podcast and we get the number 5 talking about the Cardinals, and I don't think anyone's brought up McBride yet, who I think is the best player on the team. But again, what does it do to help you when your best player is a tight end on a roster full of dog shit? I don't get it. I'm not a believer in Marvin Harrison Jr. Draws way too many balls, a little too full of himself when he came into the league. I think Brissett's like a good stopgap quarterback. I think he's going to win you you're not going to win a lot of games because of him. You still got Buda Baker on defense, so you got a little bit of a culture there. And there's one of the don't they have a Sweat? Don't they have Sweat?
Yep.
Yeah, they got Sweat. So see, at least I can name 2 players on defense for the Cardinals. There's plenty of teams in the AFC where I was like, I don't even know who a starter is on that damn roster. But I think I only know those people because the Cardinals are in my division. So like, I don't know. I'm glad that you guys you didn't get rid of Cancer Connor. You guys left him there. I think he's 3rd string now because you also got Algier.
Yep.
So because when you're starting running back, you know, he could beat Cancer, but he can't beat the Cardinals offensive line. He averaged like 4.5 yards a carry last year. Like that's not gonna cut it when Jacoby Brissett is your quarterback. So I just think that you're in a really tough division, the Cardinals, and then you're going up against a pretty damn tough schedule, man. You got to play the AFC you're playing the AFC West, and you're playing the NFC East, and you're playing the NFC West, your own division. Like that's a lot of talent in there. And in your first 13 games, you're either playing all teams that went to the playoffs last year, or you're playing teams that, in my opinion, those teams have a better roster. But, you know, like the Giants couldn't stay healthy last year. We don't know what they're going to be with John Harbaugh. Like we keep just assuming they're going to lose a bunch of games. But John Harbaugh is a different kind of coach. And by week 4, I'm not sure that Scatterboo is going to headbutt a concrete wall yet. So I think that he still might be playing. So that can be like, you could win that game, but that could be a tough one. You know, like Detroit is going into year 2 missing their coordinators, and they still had a pretty prolific offense the year before. So they're going to be a tough out. June, I don't know what you're thinking with the Denver thing, because they have like top 3 defense in the league. But that's crazy. You think Sean Payton's going to overlook an NFL team? That's wild. Dallas, I think Dallas has a better roster. Washington, do the Cardinals have a better?
Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
Nope. He died.
See, God don't like ugly, man.
But here's my we were kind of what he was alluding to. The Cardinals' biggest obstacle is going to be their offensive line. If they can overcome that and get good work from that offensive line, especially with a 3-back system with Connor, Algier, and Love, you can make things work with that. But the big thing is, if you have to, you know, and I think there's a couple guys on that line that have been improved from last year, but you got to see it first, like, you know, he was saying.
Right. And like I was saying, I think that you have a foundation. And I think you have better coaching than what Atlanta did. You have a better coach. You have better coaching. Atlanta didn't have a coach to lead that team. If they would have had a better coach on that team, you would have had Atlanta be a better team. But they just didn't have the coach. I believe the Cardinals can build a roster like Atlanta did, but have better coaching. That's what I was saying about the comparison.
Sorry. Didn't plug my computer in. That's crazy. I was spitting facts out here, and then all of a sudden my screen went black, and I was like, "Well, Frank got pissed off and just dropped the EP on me." But I got him at 3 wins. Now they could win as much as 6. They could, but that goes in because I do agree with you, Frank, that like the Jets, New Orleans, and Vegas, like those are 3 very big winnable games, and I do think out of that first 13, they have the ability to steal a couple. I'm just not sure if they're going to have it in the tank, but if they do have a good coach, and I don't know if they have a good coach, but if they do, and you draft the right quarterback on a rookie deal, and you can re-sign some of this other talent that you have drafted over the years, because there is talent there, then I can agree with you on this that there can be some promise. I don't think there is a chance for them to climb out of 4th place in the coming years, but they got to have the right coach, and if they miss in this draft, then it's not going to be good. But I got them at 3 wins, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just found it hard to find. I don't think they're good enough to rip off 3 wins in a row, but I do think that some team they're going to fuck around and find out and just trip into some wins.
They've looking at it now, outside of the Giants in week 4,
it's a gauntlet, man.
Until Thanksgiving-ish, good God.
They have the hardest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really sucks too. I mean, the fact that you play in probably the toughest division in the league, you turn around and you know what? That's just not that's not good enough. Here, let us give you this. Let's see you run that gauntlet. And it's like, wait a minute, my team wasn't that good last year. What the fuck is this all about? This is insane. It's like, I thought I was supposed to get the easy schedule.
Well, that is our breakdown of the NFC West. Looking at the poll here, which will stay up until the end of the stream, but right now it is still 50% of the votes LA, and then Seattle and San Francisco tied at 25% apiece. So we'll see how things end by the end of the night. But we're gonna take a break. After the break, we'll be back with G Money's memoir. Then we've got some comments to read, and then what's up with that for the week. So sit tight, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes.
C'est Louis, il fait avoir préféré la vie.
Boy, did we have a game today between the Fever and the Lynx. This was a game of, all right, y'all can score fast, so can we. It was like, we're not going to let defenses get set. We're going to push the ball, and let's just see who tires out first. Olivia Miles had an incredible game. She had 28 points, 4 boards, 6 dimes. In the first half of this game, Minnesota couldn't miss anything. It did not matter. And Court also had a game. She finished with 27, 4 boards, 5 dimes. Every time Sophie touched the ball, the crowd was booing. But listen, this game came down to the stars. That's what it was all about. It was Court. It was Olivia Miles, Cece. You had Kay Mitch. Kelsey Mitchell put up 37 points. I mean, she was doing everything she could to try willing this team to a W. Olivia Miles said, Sophie, you're giving me too much space. Great screen by Boston. Great shot by CC. The bench minutes, though, for Indiana was really what got them in a hole. Because as you can see, 7.5 minutes left. This is a tie game. But as more of the bench came out here, this is where things started to get out of hand. Court had the mid-range going all game. Watch this. Olivia Miles just straight to the rim, man. She took over.
offensive rebounds was something that killed Indiana in the second half. Minnesota is the best team in basketball. You cannot give them multiple opportunities. Mitchell just kept it going and was just hitting just enough big shots to keep them in the game. I'm not sure how much it'll show in the highlights here. Probably not much, but Caitlin Clark was getting doubled for most of the second half. As soon as she was coming over half court, they were hedging, they were sending traps. They wanted to get the ball out of her hands as fast as possible, force someone else to beat them. But Indiana could not get a stop all game. When they really needed stops, just couldn't quite get there. That right there, I feel like the air went out of them. They miss it, you get lucky, and then you still can't get the rebound. What a great game. Minnesota showing why they're the best team in basketball still. They snap Indiana's 5-game win streak. Minnesota improves to 25-6. Millions of Americans have grown up with the dream of wanting to play in the NFL. If you played football as a kid, I'm sure this especially rang true for you. Somewhere along the timeline of you playing football, someone probably informed you that the likelihood of you playing in the NFL was very, very low, almost a 0% chance. It's a harsh reality that most kids are met with once they have to start looking ahead to life after high school. Crazy enough though, the NFL has seen several pairs of brothers get to play during the same window of time. For this story, we're going to look at Stephon and Trayvon. So how did two of the most electrifying anomalies go from superstars to trying to make their way back into the league?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Well, Jason Whitlock gets this clip and on his show criticizes her and basically says this is why Caitlin Clark is always going to be the face of the league and why Paige Beckers will never be the face. He also was like, there was no men around. And I was like, what the hell does that have to do with anything that there's no men around in this club? Which, Jason, you weren't watching close enough. If you go and look around more in the video, there's obviously plenty of men around in a nightclub. Paige Beckers, whether you like it or not, is already one of the faces of the league. And I don't see anything that she did wrong anyway. It's like the girl is 22 years old, around there, in a club during All-Star Weekend having a good time. I can't imagine if this was Anthony Edwards doing the same thing, you would have any problem or even hear about it in the first place.
Tone deaf. Because the only reason why someone like Whitlock doesn't approve of what Beckers did is because conservatives don't like talented women that like other talented women. Let her be, man. Like, damn, she's not in the middle of the street.
He can't do it.
The comment about
Like,
there being no men around, is she supposed to feel safer if there was more men around?
no,
I don't-
you probably
what the hell are we
feel less
talking
safe
about?
if there's men around.
Man, I knew it was case when Asia came out in this black Nike suit, especially after the way they lost to Chicago a couple nights ago. Atlanta was doomed from the jump. This is the third Barbie night Angel Reese has had. She's had one every year that she's been in the dub. She's lost all three of them, if I recall correctly. They clearly are fun, but maybe the teams need to start picking games for those Barbie nights because it's become a curse. They need to treat them like homecoming games. You pick an easy team, a gimme. Because Vegas, you wanted to play Vegas on this Barbie night? The only thing that Atlanta had was the Barbie. Angel had, of course, a good game. 23 point, 16 rebound, double-double. The thing that drives me crazy about Atlanta, I like this team for the most part, but they are so inconsistent. Outside of Angel, you never know what team is going to show up. And it's a shame they didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. Atlanta already had 5 turnovers in the first quarter. This was a close game in the first quarter, by the way, but it was not for the rest of it. Angel had a great game, but that was really it. Man, Chelsea Gray did whatever she wanted. What the hell is this, man? Jackie Young, she had a game. 28-point triple-double. 28 points, 11 boards, 10 dime triple-double. Oh, no. You can't let... Come on, man. Look at this. I don't know what that was, Angel. There you go, and one. That's what that was. He said, "Let me. You know what? I don't even need a 2. Give me the 3." There is some team right now that is like, please give us Atlanta in the first round. Literally, they are the dream. They are some team's dream, saying, please give us Atlanta in that first round because you are our dream. Because in the playoffs, you got to be consistent, and that's the last thing that Atlanta is.
Yeah, I got him at 4 wins. DK Metcalf, mediocre. Oh, wow, it's crazy. Oh, grass is not green on the other side. Now, they did get Michael Pittman Jr. from the Colts. So they rescued him from Danny Dimes. So I don't know really what that's going to do. I'm not a fan of Jalen Warren. I do think Dowdle is a baller. TJ Watt, who I think the Steelers should trade. Honestly, he's a depreciating asset on a team that's not going to win a Super Bowl. Get something for him. So I got him at 4 wins.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the second half of your favorite show on the internet. AFR episode 299. Feels kind of weird saying that, I'm not gonna lie, but here we are nonetheless. Making sure everybody can hear us correctly. Okay. Yes. Folks, we've got plenty more for you in the second half of the show. We've got comments to read. We've got what's up with that. We've got G Money's memoir coming at you almost right now. But before we do that, we have, of course, are going to take a cheers to the second half of the show.
Hold up there. Oh, okay.
You know, come week 1, you can't hold that shot glass anymore, Malin.
No, I can. You say that. You're going to get a full 18-week dose.
This guy's going to be
half the fun. Okay, and Jalen, you can attest to this. Half the fun of winning the Super Bowl is the opportunity to try to run it back. And I know the Seahawks are like, we're not running it back. We're trying to, like, I get the mentality, but in like you're the top dog going into the season, and until someone else wins the Super Bowl, guess who was the last team that won it? this team. So you're gonna be nauseated. I get it. It's gonna be a rough road, but it's gonna be fun for me. We have not done
call some sort of division.
You need an intervention.
We have not done an AFR football season with my favorite team winning the Super Bowl yet. We're going to be on one. In fact, I don't think we've done a season of AFR where any of our teams have won it. It's the first year.
Yeah. Besides the Celtics, but NFL-wise,
yeah,
no.
Celtics. Yeah. Let me doubling down on the two best sports we're talking about.
All right, let's get to G Money's memoir. This is where he gives us a bit of artistry in the world of sports within just a few lines, and it is always a fan favorite, as they would say. So, G Money, please take us away to a faraway land.
As you command. We're gonna go retro. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go in that time machine and go back and see. Unfortunately, Nestor isn't here. He wouldn't remember anyway because he wasn't born. But we're gonna give you a few things from yesteryear. These all have actually three things in common. I'm gonna read them to you. Those are the eyes that never knew how to smile. It's a song. I'm going to give you another song, another line from another song. Sorry I never told you all I wanted to say, and now it's too late to hold you. People should know these things. And here's another one. I'll tell you at the end what all these have in common. Yeah, breakfast at Tiffany's and bottles of bubbles. Girls with tattoos who like getting in trouble. Yeah, okay. And finally, take no prisoners. For me, I'm told you're elevating. Okay, so as I said, I was taking you back in time. That first song, Show and Tell by Al Wilson, was a #1 song, January 13th, 1974. Why did I bring you that up? That was the last time the Miami Dolphins won the fucking Super Bowl. The second song, One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men. January 28th, 1996. #1 song. The last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Last time the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Last time the Cowboys ever went to the NFC Championship game. The third song. And this is actually really kind of interesting because it's Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of Patriots fans heard that song, Seven Rings. They yeah, that's right. That's where we're heading. That was the last time the Patriots won the Super Bowl. And of course, Take No Prisoners, Aperture by Harry Styles. February 8th, 2026.
Wow.
That was when your Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl. And I'll be giving you another song that's #1 next year when we win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Calm down.
I like that expose there. That was very well crafted. Little journey that we went on.
Beautiful.
Hey. And I want you to go pull up a picture of Mariah Carey and realize just how and since you won the Super Bowl.
And by the way, Boyz II Men are now grandpas with walkers.
And one of them is dead, aren't they?
No.
Not dead?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Just not part of the group no more? There used to be
He's
like
back.
4.
And he's back now. Yes.
Oh, he's back now?
Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
With his nurse and oxygen tank.
Any song that Boyz II Men would sing nowadays, they would need to have like, and now we're gonna cut to our sponsors Viagra, because that's the only way we'd be doing this shit that's in our song. So crazy.
Well, let's read some comments, shall we? Be sure to tune in next week for G Money's next memoir. So, comments. We're gonna start off with a clip from last week's show where we were reacting to a Jason Whitlock clip because it was my what's up with that last week. Any and all comments that we got on this, no one was agreeing with us. So sit tight and strap in here because there weren't a bunch of comments, but they sure vehemently disagreed with us. Ryan something or other on TikTok says, "When has Ant ever took his pants off at a club?"
What? What are we? What
are we talking about?
No, remember, this is in response to Jason Whitlock criticizing Paige Beckers for taking her shirt off down to her sports bra at a club. And I made the comparison that if Ant took his shirt off in a club, no one would care.
If Ant took the shirt off, he'd leave the club with a kid. Like
which has probably happened. That's probably a real series of events there. But this dude says, "When has Ant ever took his pants off at a club?" That's I replied, "Is that what you want to see? Because who is talking about pants?"
What is?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why are we talking about a grown man's pants?
Are we okay? Because it doesn't sound like it.
No.
It is.
Over on Facebook, this is where things get real fun. So, Anthony LaBarbara says Paige is going to be 26, which, by the way, is incorrect. She's about to turn 25 in October, so I don't know what you're trying to say. Okay, anyway. Paige is going to be 26, and when you have no sense of what is decent, of course you agree with what she did. Also, Paige needs to know that people that buy the tickets have children, and it turns them off. Also, there's one face of the league, and that's Caitlyn. So stop it.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, come on, man. Like, okay.
Okay. Let the girl live.
Caitlyn doesn't like. Okay, first of all, like, can I just like MAGA people? Can you calm down? Like,
I cannot.
Just settle down. Like, Caitlyn doesn't want your BS. She doesn't want to be the poster child for the MAGA people when it comes to women's sports. She doesn't want it. Paige Beckers, great player too. Why do MAGA people not like Paige? Because she's also white. She's won a national championship. She comes from a great school, right? Why do they not like her? Oh, it's because she's in love with a woman. That's why you hate her. Shut the fuck up. Yes.
There are some comments in here. I'm not even gonna read them on here, which is saying something for our channel. But there are still a few people that operate Facebook anonymously because they're I don't even know what their name is on here. But he says a 22-year-old 304. I don't know what that means. This is
it's 304 is hoe.
Oh,
look at the letters.
I see. On a phone.
Yeah.
No decency like the bearded leprechaun in this video. These are the people of Facebook, folks.
Wait a minute. Are they talking about me, bearded leprechaun?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, they obviously don't know that you're not a leprechaun because you're way too tall.
Well, first of all, where the fuck is my gold, assholes? And they're supposed to be or at least can I get some dividends or some residuals from the Lucky Charms?
Something.
Bearded leprechaun. Who said that? What was their handle?
It's in like Japanese or something. It's like a anonymous account.
Of
No.
course.
Oh, okay. Of course it
This
is.
is always how it goes.
Probably like a 400-pound bearded goat lady that identifies as a man.
Who is a cat?
It has 40 cats.
Last one of these I'll read is from Christopher Forth.
Hey.
Christopher at least shared his name and picture. She's shady as fuck, and no one wants their daughters watching that BS grind show. If you don't know what's wrong, you got some growing up to do, fella.
Who's letting their child? Okay,
I don't know.
you know what? You know what? Why is your child watching this?
Hey,
You have a
they have.
Oh,
You know,
June.
every month they have take your child to work. They took their kids to work at the strip club. So it's like, mommy, why is that woman grinding over there and took her top off?
Jesus.
Yeah, she's not working. She's taking money away from your mama. You go tell them. You post on Facebook how disgusting that is.
Mm-hmm.
Just like leave her alone, let her have a life. Like if you're over analyzing that, like you're the one that's sitting on social media watching it way too much. Like let the girl live. She's allowed to have fun. Fuck off.
Unbelievable.
Can we just circle back to the bearded shamrock thing and just talk about how redundant that is? What shamrock have you ever seen that isn't bearded? What is
You mean leprechaun?
Leprechaun. Yeah, leprechaun. Like what leprechaun have you seen that doesn't have a beard?
I don't know.
Is my
That's a good
beard
point.
red? My beard red?
Well, I have seen one.
Oh, the Lucky Charms one.
They didn't have a beard. Yeah, no, there you go. Lucky Charms one. I was going to say in Vegas that they had that little midget that was running up and down in the bar in a. He didn't have a beard.
Yeah, I heard about that guy. He's at what's that bar called?
O'Shea's.
O'Shea's. Yeah. They used to have a little midget.
Yeah, dressed up like a leprechaun, run up and down the bar pouring shots into girls' mouths. They just put their head up back on the bar and he pours shots in their mouths. Yeah. No, it was a midget. He prefers being called a midget.
All right. Next video that we're going to read the comments from. This is from 2 days ago when the Aces just absolutely destroyed the Dream during Barbie night. So Barbie night is like kind of known as Angel Reese's night. And all of the proceeds, I don't know if it's all, but or at least a percentage of the proceeds go towards a fundraiser. So every year that she's been in the league, she's had this, whether she's been in Chicago or Atlanta. But I was commenting on they need to pick easier teams because this should be a homecoming game for them because they've lost all 3 of these Barbie night games at this point. And maybe they should, temper down their expectations some. And a lot of people in the comments are like, it's a charity thing. They're just, they need to get as many butts and seats as possible because ticket sales. People, I understand that. That doesn't mean that you should schedule the fundraiser night against the world champs who are going to spank you on national TV. Maybe you should play someone in your caliber like Indiana because don't you think people are going to show up to watch Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark? And that's more in your tax bracket.
Why isn't that always the game?
You would think so, but they decided let's really punch above our weight class here and get the reigning champs. You could play New York. You could play Dallas against Paige Beckers. That would be a good draw. I'm sure you would sell that one out too. DC, I'm sure that would also be a pretty good draw. I was just saying it doesn't need to be the reigning champs and you get embarrassed. Like maybe there are other entertaining teams out there that you are closer to in skill.
The NFL did kind of a little bit of a similar thing to where the Bills opened their stadium against the Lions which I know they're not the same Lions that went to the NFC Championship game. But normally when you open a stadium, the NFL helps you with maybe a little bit of a lesser opponent. Like, no, we're going to go ahead and give you Dan Campbell who's going to bite your knees off. That's going to be your home opener in your new stadium. So, yeah.
Odd behavior, but
blood brings the grass.
Yeah, so there were people basically in the comments who were saying like, no, you picked a team that most fans are going to show up for, not some team no one cares about.
They're gonna show up for the Fever though, or New York, or
right. I'm like,
yeah.
I would understand if you were like doing like Phoenix or something. But like, even though, and this is the problem with the Aces a little bit, is that they've been so good that, and even Aja Wilson, man, like been the MVP, I feel like forever. But it's the newer kids on the block that are getting all the press. And I understand how that upsets the people that are foundationally there now. But you'd get just as many butts in seats with Indiana as you would Las Vegas. Wouldn't even be
probably
fun.
more. Like if they didn't sell out the place, they would probably sell out there. And like they did play there earlier the year. I don't know why they didn't just make that the Barbie night, but
and then you got Breonna Stewart up in New York, a big name. Play her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. There's a few
do
options.
something like that. You got, so I mean,
good on Angel Reese for having that that foundation and that charity thing. Good on her. She don't get enough credit. Too many people hating on the me bounds and the eyelashes.
Or just for no reason.
She's definitely a face of the league.
Yeah.
And so good on her for doing something like that. Like, could you guys imagine if like an NBA player,
I know,
like did something like that? Like if that was happening in the NBA, like who that would be or what that draw would be like. So I think it's really cool that somebody like Andrew Reese is doing something like that.
Well, the NBA players do it. They just do it in the off season, like the Rucker League. They got the Rucker League. They got the league up in Seattle. They have the league out in LA where they run games. They got the league in Dallas. They got the league in New Orleans. They got the Drew League out in LA. They got the league in Florida that they do. So they got the NBA just do it in the off season. They don't do it in the during the middle of the season. We can't now because they do the in season tournament.
There was one more comment I wanted to read here because just people on Facebook are really dumb. Alan Isley says, I don't know where she gets off calling herself the Bayou Barbie when she grew up Maryland. 4 years of college at LSU doesn't make you Cajun or part of the Bayou community. Didn't she win a national championship for LSU?
Settle the fuck down. It's like, okay, I guarantee that same person claims Joe Burrow.
Probably, exactly. Probably.
That same person claims Joe Burrow.
Don't get me started on that.
But Angel Reese coming from Maryland, where's Joe Burrow from? I know it's not Cajun.
Ohio, I think.
Ohio.
Pretty sure he's from Ohio. Right? Yeah, because he went. Well, yeah.
He went to Ohio State first.
Yeah.
So that person, I guarantee that person. That you need to say it again, Jalen. I guarantee that person. He claims Joe Burrow is gonna shit on Angel Reese.
Right.
You mega hat wearing son of a bitch.
I will say everyone else underneath him just tore him apart just immediately.
Good, as deserved.
As they should.
She is the face of LSU basketball, and she should.
You know what? Because everybody does it. When they go to a different school, they might not be from the state, but they're going to get love from that area. People are going to count them from that area.
Right.
It happens all the time.
But when she does it,
it's a problem.
All right.
Damn.
Let's get to last set of comments here, which is from my newest doc about the Diggs brothers and all about their missteps throughout their career. Shout out to everyone that has watched it so far. Some of the highlighted comments, and yes, Stephon did just sign with the Commanders earlier today, so we'll talk about that in just a second. But one of the top comments here is from T Knight 1973. He says, to be honest, Steph Diggs had a very lucrative career. Hell, anything over 10 years is a win, which I do think is worth mentioning. Like, they both have had successful careers in the grand scheme of things, but Stephon has had a very good career. It wasn't like the man's been a bust or anything like that. Red Lady 8092 says, this is about no home training, no morals, no character, no self-discipline, wasted potential, sad.
Hold on, hold up.
Okay,
She a little mad.
So you raise two kids that make it in the NFL. That even when you're playing college football in the Power 4 conferences, you have less than a 2% chance of making the NFL.
Yeah.
That family raised two sons that made it to the NFL, and you're going to shit on parenting? Yeah.
From a single parent.
Yeah. We can't just blame money and fame and success, as maybe that's why they become a little bit unhinged at times. But like you just said, they had successful NFL careers. Jesus. Their kid's probably going to work at Walmart. Like, what the hell? Yeah.
I was gonna say, beyond a certain point, it becomes where your decisions are not on your fucking parents.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many times have we had brothers playing in the NFL at the same time?
We don't.
Yeah, it is a special
Those
thing.
two came out of one woman who raised both of them. Let's not try to shit on the parent. Like, good.
In DC, bro. In the DC area, in the DMV. And that's not hard. That's hard to do up here. Okay? That's hard to do.
I'm not understanding the reference of the DMV.
DC, Maryland, Virginia. Up here, it's the DMV. So we call it the DMV because we're so close together. You know.
Okay, I got you.
I
heard DMV. I heard DMV, and I was like, "What's wrong with getting the driver's license?" I don't know.
I'm going to give you guys a lesson. If you live up in DC, Maryland, Virginia, and it has to be within the immediate area, it's called the DMV. DC, Maryland, Virginia.
I like how it sounds like you guys are like militarized zone.
Oh no.
With that being said, though, there were like a lot of echoes of that, different versions of that comment. Basically, a lot of people, saying because they grew up without their dad throughout a big chunk of their childhood, and since he passed away at an early age. So, but regardless, Stephon did sign with the Commanders today. I didn't see what the dollar amount was. But
neither. I just know it was a one year deal. Was all I was able to find.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about him being with Jaden Daniels now?
I think it's going to be better than Deebo Samuel. I think Diggs and McLaurin. I say that right? I probably didn't. Shit. McLaren.
That's close enough. Close enough.
I think those two together, if Josh Daniels can stay healthy, I do like Dan Quinn as a coach. I do think it's an upgrade for that team. I'm glad they went the Diggs route versus the Ayuk route, because I don't know if you guys been following Ayuk going dumpster fire
Jesus
on his entire life.
That's a full of shit.
Yeah, apparently Ayuk just bought a house like 10 minutes away from the Commander's headquarters. I don't understand that. But yeah, I think it makes him better. Because I do think Stephon Diggs, he still has the ability to be a really good wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, we're like, I'm not saying he's like as good as Devontae Adams, but look at Devontae Adams' age and what he's doing when he has a capable quarterback on a little bit more of a solid team, right? And Washington's only 2 years removed from going to an NFC Championship game. They got a young quarterback. I think he could do for Jaden Daniels what he did for Drake May a little bit, like give a little bit more stability. You got that cushion. I think it's a good signing.
Well, it's like you said, everywhere he's been, he's elevated the position. He's been stability, whether it's been Minnesota, whether it's been Buffalo, whether it's been Houston. He just gives the quarterback a reliable target. And like you said, I feel like he's a much better fit for Jaden Daniels because you don't have to worry about. Because I feel like Debo's more of a slot gadget player as opposed to Diggs. You can just chuck it and he's going to go get the damn ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he did have a couple monster games.
Yeah, he did.
With the Patriots, where like, oh yeah, Diggs can still be Diggs. He did. I don't know, like some of the stuff that Diggs gets in trouble for, like it's not like he's Terrell Owens, right? That's just lighting like piles of dog shit on fire outside team headquarters, like every place he goes, just burning bridges. He has a personality that can be a little tough, and he does some strange things. And even that, like we even before the playoffs last year with that domestic violence thing, ended up being found to be unfounded. I think a lot of people rushed the judgment. I also rushed the judgment on that. So I apologize for that. But I mean, he's not. Yeah, like I kind of feel like we're treating Diggs like Terrell Owens. Like you're always a cancer everywhere you go, and I don't think he's necessarily a cancer where he goes.
He's a lively character.
Yeah, I just don't think he's so transcendent that you're necessarily going to win a Super Bowl with him. You got to have other pieces around you. But I think it's a good hire. I think G Money was going to say something.
Oh,
well, it is a good thing. I mean, they needed a number 2 wide receiver in Washington because they didn't have one. And as everyone here has said, Diggs has performed everywhere he's been. Last year with the Patriots, he had over 1,000 yards receiving. I mean, it wasn't like he was non-existent. He was a cap casualty. I mean, plain and simple. If he was making a third of what he was, he'd still be with the Patriots. They wouldn't have cut him. Mm-hmm. But, it's like, oh, man, I know we signed you to a 3-year, 60-some, it was 3 years, $63 million contract. It's like, but we can't afford that now. And he did finally get to go to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They didn't win it, but he got to go. And so they're gonna do well in Washington. He will do well. He will probably have another 1,000-yard season. The only time he didn't have 1,000-yard or more season was in Houston when he got injured. And we saw what happened when all of Houston's receivers went down. C.J. Stroud didn't know what the hell to do. He had no one to throw the ball to. So no, it's fine. And as far as he doesn't appear to be a headache in the locker room. It's kind of off-field issues, and even them, they're not huge issues. They're not like Tyreek Hill's issues, AJ Brown's issues. I mean, you can look at people and go, yeah, okay, that's an issue. That's an issue. Those guys are issues off the field. Some of that bleeds into being on the field. It doesn't seem to be that way. Now, the only thing Stephon wanted, which is what every number 1 wide receiver wants, is the ball. Just get me the goddamn ball. Get me the ball, and I will score. So yeah, it's a good pickup for Washington. And Ayuk, well, hey, closer to the stadium, you can go watch the games now. Because guess what?
Hey, Jalen, bottom line, I know you got A.J. Brown, but would you still love to have Stephon Diggs on your roster?
Oh, I would love him to come back. He was great here.
So it's a good hire. Anyone to sign him, it was a good sign.
I honestly think that as long as I'm sure the Commanders asked him, hey, these other legal issues that you've got, is there anything to this? And I'm sure he denies everything. All right, we'll give you 1 year. I think as long as he plays just as well as he has last year, they'll probably re-up him come this time next year. Like, I don't see why not. Like, as long as the legal stuff gets settled.
I think it's going to be a 1-year rental with Diggs. Even if he performs well, I don't think the Commanders are in a space to sign him to a bigger deal, to a longer term deal. I don't know that a lot of teams are going to be willing to do that. So I think Diggs will be out there looking for another team next year. I mean, you're what, 2 years away from having to sign Daniels to a new contract?
I would like to think that he would take a bit less money, like knowing that at this point, I'm probably not going to get a big deal anywhere else. I'm at home. Like, sure, I'd come down a bit. I would hope so.
The only thing I think with Diggs though is that you can hate a lot of different things about him, but he's been very adamant that he wants to win a championship.
Yeah.
He wants to win a ring.
He's not going to do
so
that.
I do think he would take less to sign with another team outside of Washington. It would give him maybe a better chance. I think Washington could be in the fold. I mean, you don't get to the NFC Championship game by accident. So there is talent there. There is good coaching. But I think he might be like what Devontae Adams is to LA, what Cooper Kupp was to Seattle.
Yeah.
What Mike Evans is about to be for the 49ers. Like, I think he could try to be that to another team after this year, if he wants to be.
I think one of the bigger things, with him signing is going to be if his brother is going to sign. Is his brother going to sign with Washington? He's a Dan Quinn guy. He was there when Dan Quinn was in Dallas when he broke the record for the most interceptions. Dan Quinn knows how to coach the guy. So will we see in the next couple of weeks, probably the next couple of days, will we see Trayvon now sign with the Washington Commanders? Because they've always wanted to play together. They tried to do it in Dallas, and Jerry was like, and it was right before he went to Houston, and Jerry was like, I just don't have the cap space to sign, Stephon.
I don't think they'll do that.
know.
I don't think they'll do that. That would be some Dan Snyder shit that would happen.
Right.
Signing brothers for presses. Like, let me get my name. Let's talk about the Commanders on SportsCenter a little bit more. I don't think that'll happen because I think he just dramatically dropped off too much. He's not going to be worth the money to anybody's. Like, he'd have to take so much less money to play with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Commanders should be very interesting this year. Another interesting team, but we will be getting that to NFC East maybe next week or let's see. Anyway, enough comments here. Let's get to the last segment of this week's show, which is going to be our What's Up With That for the week. And this is, of course, where we each air out a grievance that we have within the world of sports from within the past week. So I'll open up the floor. I have 2 on deck, just in case someone takes my first one, which I think someone will. But just
I got
in
one.
case.
Nobody's gonna have mine. I got one. Nobody's gonna have mine. I'm not gonna have yours.
All right, June. All right.
So he says. So
it is August 5th, and that means that Little League football is starting. I coached Little League football for 17 years between Texas and Nevada. I coached Little League football for a very long time. And in the videos I've been seeing the last couple of years, parents, you've got to calm your ass down. Your child is not being recruited at 9 years old. I can guarantee you that that's not happening.
Well, what about Baby Gronk?
Stop playing. And you are not being recruited at 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12. I don't care what anybody tell you. Somebody's lying to you. Okay? The coaches are not looking at you right now. These coaches are out there and they are volunteering. They are not getting paid. They are volunteering to help your child get better and get to the place they want to be in football. You parents have got to stop thinking that because your child isn't playing quarterback, they are not going to make it anywhere. Okay? Little Timmy does not have the arm strength to throw the ball a yard, let alone throw the ball 30 yards down the field. So stop it. Stop it right now. Okay? I hate to tell you that. It's just not happening. So when you come up to football practice, be realistic about where you want your child to play. Okay? Be realistic. Let your child be realistic and let them try something they haven't played before. Maybe they want to try safety. They don't want to play quarterback. They don't want to play wide receiver. Maybe they want to try safety. Maybe they want to be on the offensive line. Maybe they want to be on the defensive line. Maybe they want to be a linebacker. Let them play the position that they feel comfortable in, not the position that you want to relive your glory days in. And going back to the coaches being volunteers, you do not have the right to yell at a coach if they're just coaching your son. You don't have to go out there and tell them what your son should be doing because they already know.
I mean,
You're
first of all,
not helping. You are not helping. But that's all I have. That's in the world of sports. Hey,
I gotta tell you, June, if you were to ask me to describe a Pee Wee football coach, they would look exactly like you. Like that fits the script. I don't know, but I could see you out there just in the shorts, the damn near knee-high socks, with a Waffle House menu, just calling plays. That is amazing, and God bless you for doing 17 years of doing that. Second, yeah, maybe moms should not be filling up their 32-ounce Stanleys with vodka before they go to these games. And dad should stop treating these games like it's a fucking Buffalo Bills tailgate party. And then maybe we'd have some sense and sensibility for these games. Because I've been out there. I've seen it, June. My kids played baseball when they were younger, but they were having football going on at the same time. And I go out there and I would see like dads or moms, and that soccer mom would be walking out there with a pooch belly and a Stanley in her hand. And I was like, I know there's vodka in that fucking cup. Like, you need to calm your ass down. I was like, your son just sucks. Like, shut up. All right, what's up with that real quick, Jalen? There's not a whole lot that I have to be upset about when it comes to sports, except for my goddamn Seattle Mariners. Wake the actual fuck up. Like, how have we allowed the Houston Astros to get back to number one? June, you're a part of this because you're a Texas Rangers fan. How the hell have we collectively allowed this to happen? Kyle Raleigh, can you hit above your weight, Cal? All
No,
right?
you can't.
Like, you're barely hitting above a midget's weight. Like, you're hitting like 162 right now. Like, goddamn. Pitching, do better. Munoz, fucking be what you were last year. They're just pissing me off. They always, like, the fact that we went to Game 7 in the ALCS last year, and everyone's like, oh, this year the Mariners, and G Money and I the whole time we're filled with optimism, but we're also like, well, it's also the Mariners, the only team in Major League Baseball never gone to a goddamn World Series. And you're playing like a team that's never gone to a goddamn World Series right now. You're playing in the worst. You're playing in the worst division in baseball. The worst. And you're still 2.5 games back. What the fuck are we doing? Wake up. Do something. I'm like
Okay, they won.
I'm like that meme. It's like with the stick poking. Like, can you do anything?
They won. They heard you. They said, "We hear you, Malin," and they won. Munoz shut him down.
Yeah,
J-Rod hit a 3-1 home run. He's like, "We won." Cole Young hit a home run. They said, "We won." Yes, but they won tonight because they heard you. They heard you. That may be, but that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow, Malin's sad story.
Okay, okay. First of all, guys, don't allow G Money's little 30 seconds there to act like he's the glass half full when it comes to professional sports. Because you bring up anything semi-positive about a favorite team of G Money's, and you know what he's gonna say? He's not gonna agree with you. He's gonna, well, maybe. That's his famous line.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, and then he's gonna give you 10 reasons why it's not gonna happen. Like, G Money is the most pessimistic sports fan I've ever met in my life. I can be like, man, Seahawks just won the Super Bowl, man. We got a great roster. We're going to run. Well, maybe. And he's going to list off 15 different reasons why it's probably not going to happen. But we did win tonight. But Mariners, goddamn it, do something. Win the worst. Win the AL West. It's the worst in baseball. The Rangers are above us, and they did a fire sale. They tried to do a fire sale. DeGrom was like, no,
the thing was stupid. We were up 3-0 just a couple of days ago. You know, like last week we was up 3-0. We was up 3 games, and then this week we shit the bed. We shit the bed. We're 4-6.
Like we should be ashamed of ourselves allowing Houston.
Oh God!
Get back to the top of the AL West. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Put their ass back in the NL. Put their fucking asses back in the NL. Fucking cheating bastards.
Frank, what is your what's up with that for this week?
Shoot, I feel like especially after the Tariq Skubal trade, and as much as I used to be on the side that it's like the Dodgers are kind of doing what they want, baseball is ruined. The thing is, what people don't understand, they got Tariq Skubal, but with the amount of money that they are spending in the grand scheme of things, they're still beatable. Their rotation is still beatable.
Yeah.
And honestly, I hate to be that guy, but the Diamondbacks, more than not, are the team that can knock LA off of their pedestal. And it's just like, I think people are freaking out because of the potential lockout and this and that, and they're already giving LA the fucking World Series when it hasn't even been played yet. Let somebody else, let chemistry, let baseball, let situational things take over before we let everything be like, oh, let's just give it all to LA.
Frank, I gotta be devil's advocate here. The Dodgers are 2-8 in their last 10, and you're still 8.5 games back.
Still 8.5. That's the crazy part.
That's
all we need is a
wild
part.
Still crazy.
But the crazier thing is that you would be in the front of the AL West if you're in the AL West. It's 60 and 54.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'll be fucking up in the AL West. God, son of a
And we don't
shit.
have a, like, outside of like Brandon Pfaadt lately and Erod most of the season and Soroka before he got hurt, our rotation has been garbage.
I will say that you guys being 60-4 after we took the 2 best hitters last year, and you guys come back and you're actually playing like good baseball, better than our whole division. That is something for Arizona. So kudos to the Diamondbacks. But when you say that they're a team that could take out the Dodgers, that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't love it. I love you, but I don't see that happening.
That's fair.
Go ahead, G Money.
Okay, so last week, my what's up for that was FIFA. Yeah, it hasn't fucking changed.
Well,
so yeah. Well, once Infantino came out with the whole, I'm going to sell basically part of FIFA to private investors, and we're going to get $40 $4 billion, and we're going to split that out between all these teams, and this is going to be great. And the team, and basically, UEFA said, "Yeah, no, we don't think so. Fuck you. That's wrong. And if you're going to do that, we're not going to participate in any FIFA tournament." Then CONCACAF came out and said the same damn thing. He's like, "Oh fuck." And it's funny because before he came out with that, he had all the votes to be elected for his third and final term of president of FIFA. He was like, he had it locked up. If he had waited until they had the elections and he had been reelected president of FIFA, he could have come out and done this and said, "Fuck you guys, I don't really care. This is how we're going to do it." Well, this week, Infantino came out and apologized for his errors. And FIFA came out to support him, said, and if any league wants to go against us, basically, we'll shut them down. It's like, bitches? Seriously? Who the fuck do you think is going to watch FIFA if you shut the European League down? If you tell them they can't play, they're going to like, all right, whatever, fuck you. We're going to make our money, And then if CONCACAF joins in, who are you going to have? Like, 15 Ireland and maybe the African League. I mean, nobody's going to give a rat's ass about who's in the World Cup. No, because USA is in CONCACAF.
God damn.
And if CONCACAF says no, and UEFA says no, and basically you probably have the Asian team saying the same thing, saying like, "Yeah, fuck you, we're not gonna do that. You're selling this off, and you're gonna sell this off for $4.8 billion, or now FIFA is gonna basically penalize us if we speak out against you." Right. That's bullshit. Maybe FIFA just disappeared. It's like you forget that we all elect you. You're not gods. You're not there permanently. And if you want to threaten us, we will indeed.
If FIFA does that and an Asian team wins the World Cup before America, fuck them. That is, I know it's never probably going to happen for us, but God damn it, that would just and this guy who runs FIFA, he's pretty rich, right? Like, why is he still bald? LeBron James has a lot less money than him, and he got hair. Like, he found hair with his money. Why is this guy still bald? Like, you're supposed to buy hair.
Because his 25-year-old girlfriend likes it.
She likes the bald?
Oh. Hey, look at Jeff Bezos. Yeah, his plastic girlfriend, a wife now, likes it.
He got it on Amazon.
She likes it because of the money he has.
And thank you. And that's why his 25-year-old girlfriend likes him, because of the money he has. Not only that, but the whole idea of him setting this up was that he was going to be the CEO of this newly formed company once he walked away from FIFA, once he retired after his third term, walking out of a job that he was making $6-7 million to a job he was probably going to be making $20 to $25 million a year.
Bezos and that guy both look like a couple of circumcised penises, but whatever.
Yeah, they do. They do. And they act like that too.
You have the floor. Yeah, he prematurely did something when he announced that. Go ahead, Jalen.
Let's get to my what's up with that, which had to be Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show 2 days ago.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Aaron, who was, he was pumping his chest out and he was feeling himself at the Steelers training camp with his boy Pat McAfee giving him the platform to just speak on whatever. Of course, he wants to speak on the vaccines 5 years later and just how right he was. And the whole thing is just so silly to me. I'm like, what does this have to do with the Steelers and their season coming up? Also, why are you talking about this 5 years later now that Fauci is in a courtroom? But you want to pump out your chest to talk about this now. why weren't you saying all this 5 years ago when people were actually asking you about it? Like Kirk Cousins, who was at least honest and just stood on what he believed in, but you wanted to go and play Scooby-Doo at the time. But now, 5 years later, you can speak on this. The whole thing is just silly. And Pat McAfee and his whole crew is like egging him on. And it's strange to me that ESPN, they have this very strange dance on what is allowed and what is not. But it's fine when Aaron Rodgers wants to get on here and bring stuff up. But in other capacities, politics is not allowed. But if Aaron Rodgers brings it up, it's fine. We'll air it. No problem. It's just, I think the whole thing is absolutely silly to me. And I can't say
You know what I
Aaron
think the
Rodgers.
funniest thing about the Pat McAfee show to me is that ESPN runs that ticker below the show saying that comments and things discussed on this show is meant for entertainment. It does not directly, reflect the beliefs of ESPN, the company. And I'm like, okay, first of all, like, if you don't agree with what they're saying,
why would you?
why do you have them on your channel? You just need the views because you guys have gone so fucking woke that it's not like you guys are laughable. So it's funny to me that ESPN is pretty much run by Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee, two completely different people. It is wild. Aaron Rodgers went scorched earth. He went after Fauci, which I thought was silly. But then he went after the he started talking about the reporter in Vrabel. Started talking about that, why aren't people talking about this? And I was like, dude, okay, well, that was like 8 months ago. Like, I don't, let's move on, man.
That's current news to him.
Well, it's funny that he's bringing up everybody else's garbage, but what about all the stuff that he put women through? Let's talk about his shit.
Why is his wife in witness protection? Why is no one seen this man's wife? Like, what is?
She's one of those Japanese robots you can order. That's why you don't see her. That's why he likes her, because she doesn't talk back to him or anything. She has no opinion, and he can bring her out when he needs her.
Like, we want to talk about how it's weird that, Kyle Shanahan can get in a car accident. We don't know about it for 2 weeks. Aaron Rodgers gets married and nobody knows her name and nobody's ever seen her. That's not weird to anybody. Like, no one's talking about that. Like, if I'm Pat McAfee, I'm leading with that. Like, hey, can you pull out your phone and show us a picture of your wife?
Yeah.
Like, can we see? Like, it is very strange to me that we don't know. Isn't there public record? Can't you just go to it? I don't know. Like, TMZ, do your damn job. Do what we expect you to do and unearth it and figure it out. But Aaron Rodgers, man, he ain't ever gonna change. He's always gonna be crazy. He's always.
I can't stand him.
Damn.
Cannot stand him. Well, that's gonna do it, folks. That is the end of this week's episode of AFR. Frank, thank you so much for joining us for yet another episode of this show. I was gonna say when you come back, the season will be started, but it won't quite. But almost.
Always love to be here.
Yes, thank you for taking the time out of your evening, the giant chunk of time out of this evening to come bullshit with us for a while. So, be sure to follow Frank, his TikTok, his podcast. All that is linked down in the description below. Be sure to follow June's TikTok, his podcast. All that is linked down in the description below as well. For the Cowboy fans, for the Arizona sports fans, there you guys go. And we'll talk to you all next week for episode 300. So with that being said, peace out.
Peace.
Peace.